Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Well, I only got one thing to say.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Sammy, I can't believe you. I can't believe you, Samuel. Let's get in the top comment of the day. The top commenter of the day goes to none other than Kayla. Kayla was here first, and right when I went live, shout out to you, Kayla, the top commenter of the day. And then we got Keisha, baby girl. Hey, Keisha girl. Hi. And then we got Nika. Those are my top commenters for now. And if you want to have a shout out and be the top commenter of the day, all you have to do is come in right when I go live. When the live hits and it's actually on, you can come on in here and I'll give you a nice little shout out. And later on next year, I will be giving out memberships. So be on the lookout for those. Ladies and gentlemen, Smackdown gave us another one. It was very good. It was very good indeed. The show itself did what it was supposed to do. Let's run this down as quickly as possible so I can get out of your head. First, we're going to start off with the girl. You see, Julia was supposed to have a match with our favorite evil woman, Blake Monroe. But Blake Monroe didn't like the parameters of her match. She wasn't okay with just facing off against Julia. She doesn't feel like she needs to prove anything. So instead of having a match, she went out there, attacked Julia from behind, and just beat the woman down. There was no match. It was just a pure beatdown from Blake. Now, I know that this could lead to something heading into probably Sunday night main event, which is what I would do, but this was okay for the time. It cut a lot of possibility, but I will say this. They could have gave Julia and Blake their match instead of having us have to sit through this long match between R-Truth, Damian Priest, and the MFTs. It's not that I don't like either team. I love Tama and Tala. The Tongans are great. Love them down there. Father Haku is there, and I love that. That whole thing is nothing but lineage and pure unbridled history is all right there in one sitting. So I'm not mad at the match itself, but the match went too long. It was too long, and there was no need for it to be that long. And I get that this was more of a statement for Blake than it was for Julia, but you could have done the same thing by allowing them to have a match. Julia probably could have got the pin or whatever the case may be, and you still could have had Blake, the one standing tall, attacking Julia, taking her out, being frustrated by the loss because this isn't what she wanted to begin with, right? This all could have been done where everybody could have ate down and still had the impact that it needed to have. Instead, they cut the match completely and gave Blake the big to do, which is fine. I just wish it was done better. This match was okay. The Tongans won. I'm happy for them. This is probably going to be the end of R-Truth and Damian Priest, which I'm definitely okay with. It's time for Damian Priest to go his own separate way. And if I recall, R-Truth is not even on a contract anymore. I think he's working on a pay by day pay basis because he only had a year contract that he signed for. So, you know, I'm happy that they got to have a decent title run as tag team champs, but I'm also happy that the Tongans got to have the titles back. And this now is going to lead to some interesting conversations when it comes to Shinsuke Nakamura and his partner, who actually is a former New Japan wrestler himself, former AEW champion, former Ring of Honor champ, former CMLL wrestler and champion. This guy has been everywhere. His name is Kyoki, from what I saw over here on what's it called? Jesus, I can't talk today. His name is Kyoki from what they talked about on WWE after the Tongans won their match. But his real name is Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu Takahashi. That is his real name. At least that's the name that he used over in New Japan and everywhere else. He faced off against the likes of like Dragon Lee was one of his formidable opponents. Will Ospreay is someone that he went up against, and they introduced him tonight so that he is now going to be Shinsuke's partner, and we will see what he's capable of in that ring. If you want to be acclimated to what Takahashi can actually do, I suggest that you go on YouTube and type in Dragon Lee versus Takahashi and see what you come up with. Hiromu Takahashi. And see what you get to see. You'll be pleasantly surprised by this man's capabilities. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does with Shinsuke Nakamura. This feud between Shinsuke and the Tongans is going to be very interesting, I think. Moving on. Now, there were a few other things that happened on the show that I'm going to get out the way, okay? Backstage segments only happened between Chelsea, Fatal Influence, and Paige, who was actually there. They saw Chelsea waiting on Tiffany, who was in the back with the give it to me. He was in the back with Tiffany waiting on her at the trainer's room when she came out. She basically told her, that she was ready to go and that she didn't want her to come out there. She told Chelsea she didn't want her to come out there and possibly get hurt. She's not mad at her for last week. She understood why she was there. And Chelsea was just like, look, I just want to make up for whatever was wrong. I didn't want you to lose your title like that. She was very remorseful. Then Paige saw her, and Paige basically told her that she admired her speech. It really got her riled up, and that she thinks that once she's ready to go, she's going to be a great champion. And of course, Fatal Influence decided to come out there and throw salt in the wound. They're holding the title that Tiffany used to have, and a title that Paige used to have. And essentially, they just came over there to be the raggedy bitches that they are. And essentially, they just rubbed it in that Tiffany was injured and that they didn't have no belts and that they did and that they ain't got nothing on them when they get in the ring. Contrary to popular belief, they actually can wrestle. It's just that most of the time they don't. And oftentimes what we see is a 3-on-1 assault of all of them taking people out. And what really sticks in my craw is that WWE never books any of the factions to truly suffer any comeuppance. And I don't like that. I feel like they need to get what's coming to them. They need to get their just due. Like the MFTs just walked away from Solo. There was no true justice for all of the shit that Solo did. Now everybody's saying that Solo's getting his just desserts from Roman, but I don't know because it wasn't Roman. Roman wasn't the only one that was targeted by the MFTs in Solo. A lot of people got targeted by the MFTs in Solo, and there was no true comeuppance for that. Neither was it really for the bloodline, but that's another conversation for another day. I like when there's actually some penance served for bad deeds And I feel like when it comes to Fatal Influence, they most definitely should serve some penance. They served none when they were in NXT, came up to SmackDown and did the same shit they've been doing in NXT on SmackDown and have yet to serve any justice besides her losing that damn championship to Lola. So it is what it is. Moving on to another 3-on-3. We have Jade Cargill and her baddies walking up on Charlotte, Tatum, and Bliss. And Charlotte and Bliss were talking about them having a nice brunch. And Bliss was like, yeah, all three of us are going to have a good time. And Charlotte was like, 3? What do you mean 3? And that's when Tatum showed up. Tatum's being her same eerily quirky self. And she's living her best life, as we can see. And of course, other girls, Jade and the baddies, decided to call the girl a freak and say that she was coming in thinking that she was going to save them. Oh, they got 10-10, babe. They scored. Oh, it's a different game. Yeah. Denver and Green Bay. Okay. Anyways, so instead of them just battling it out back and forth, Charlotte basically told them, like, with all the shit y'all talking, this freak y'all keep talking about took both of you guys out with ease. And Baby Fab was like, oh, okay, so we making little challenges. Okay, cool. So how about your little scary ass homegirl goes up against my homegirl next week, and then we'll see how well she can hold her own. And so Tatum was like, okay, cool. When we doing this? Next week? Awesome. She was like, yeah, Michi was like, yeah, you are going to face off against me next week. And she was like, all right, cool. My first match. Let's do it. Not scared at all. Very much excited. Now, of course, when the girls walked away, Tatum clocked it. Tatum was like, so you took up for me. And then she hugged her. And you know, Charlotte has a thing about being touched. So we had that little moment. Now, there was some backstage moments between Blake and Kathy. There was a backstage moment between Kevin, Finn, and Gunther. And there also was a backstage moment between Nick and Sammy. And all of that is very simplistic in explanation. Kevin, Gunther, and Finn were back there talking because Finn told Kevin that he's his friend. And he would have liked a heads up if he was coming into his match. So he can at least know and, you know, be proud of his friend coming back, but also be prepared for his friend. Kevin said, fair. You know what? I understand that. And for that, I can, you know, make amends. But before we can even talk about that, it looked like we're going to be interrupted again. This was the third time Kevin was interrupted throughout this entire segment. Gunther walks up and basically tells him, like, you don't have anything to worry about in Finn. He's a shell of his former self. What you need to be more concerned with is if you get that championship, the next person you need to worry about having to deal with is me. Then he laughed at him and walked away. I was like, sure, Gunther. Love that for you. I mean, can be no more of an afterthought in this scenario than you. But okay, if you need to centralize yourself in this conversation, I love that for you. And then we talk about Samuel. Samuel is the one who opened up the show with Nick Aldis. And he had a rightful gripe in this case. We're going to get on Sammy in a minute. Sammy made it very clear that he was tired of being circumvented and disrespected. And rightfully so. Last week, he was given an opportunity and it was taken from him. There were no ramifications for Randy destroying his opportunity, and there was no chance given to Sammy to rectify what was taken from him. So, of course, he was hot, right? He was tight. He was in his motherfucking feelings. So, he went to Nick Aldis to complain and air out his grievances. And while he was doing this, Randy Orton was standing directly behind him. And he heard everything. How my Sammy called him a loser. Said that he lost his opportunity and he shouldn't be going after Cody Rhodes or taking anything away from him. And Cody said, well, Randy says, you know what? I want to hear the rest of your grievances. I want to hear how, you know, what else you had to say about me. I'm very curious about what you have to say. And while he was trying to, I guess he was going to walk it back, Cody called out Randy. And this led to a confrontation that kind of gave us an inkling as to where this is going to go. Randall came out there, and as he was going out there, Nick was already out there trying to calm the situation down. But the situation began to get volatile as soon as Cody Rhodes told Randy he didn't want to wait until Atlanta, that he was ready to go right now. And Randy was like, all right, shit, you want to battle? Let's go. Got ready to get in the ring, and Nick Aldis got in front and blocked everybody. Essentially, what he said was, is if either of you lays a finger on each other, neither of you will ever, ever challenge for the WWE Championship again. Meaning any road that they could take to lead to the title and have a title match, whether it be on a PLE or on a Friday Night Smackdown, you'll never get the opportunity. So the boys backed off and they decided to just have a battle of words. Randy Orton told Cody Rhodes that essentially he doesn't have what it takes to take him out. Yeah, he talks a big game, but when it came down to truly executing and taking him out, he hesitated. He couldn't get the job done. Cody Rhodes was baffled. He said, I don't understand how you could even think that. And you of all people know that I've learned from everybody, including you. And the reality is, somebody has to kill the legend killer. And I promise you, it will be me. Well, the boys are going to go at it as Sunday Night Main Event. They can't touch each other for 2 weeks, which means we're going to be in promo love, heaven, if that's what you call it, or it could be promo hell. You never know. Now, both of them killed it this week. There wasn't really much to talk about between the two of them. The most interesting part about SmackDown was this match. It was in Toronto, Canada, and it was for the WWE Undisputed title, okay? So, the boys were going at it, and it was a battle. And Kevin Owens was beating the brakes off of CM Punk. And CM Punk ended up getting some licks in there, here and there. But when the match began to break down is when CM Punk was thrown into the referee, and the ref got knocked out. This led to 2 finishing pins, one from Kevin, one from CM Punk, and both had almost a 10 to 12 count. As the referee was beginning to come to, it was very slow and methodical. Here comes Sami Zayn coming in to cost CM Punk the title. And it almost worked. CM Punk got hit in the head with the knee, and he got thrown into the ring post, and thrown back into the ring. Sami Zayn picked up the referee, tossed him inside, and the ref counted, and he barely made the ref count. I mean, that 3 count. Barely. So much so, Sami Zayn was freaking out, wanting Kevin Owens to do this the most dastardly way possible. He grabbed the belt, told him to use the belt. The referee was still out. Take him out. Take the title. Kevin hesitated. He didn't want to do it this way. He didn't want to asterisk by his win. He didn't want anybody to question whether he was able to beat CM Punk or not. So he told Sami, no, I don't want to do it this way. And because he refused, Sami Zayn did the ultimate betrayal and hit Kevin Owens in the head, costing him the WWE Championship. CM Punk hits and go to sleep, and that's 1, 2, 3. As CM Punk begins to celebrate, he thinks he's fine because he has no idea how Kevin actually lost that match. And then he gets hit in the head by Sami Zayn with the title. Not only does he hit CM Punk in the head, but he goes back and hits Kevin in the head again once Kevin comes to and tries to attack Sami again. And instead of Sami addressing the person that he screwed out of a title shot, he immediately goes over to CM Punk and blames him for everything. He takes no responsibility. Sami.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
We were rooting for you, Sami. How dare you? The boys are going to be fighting, man. Not only are you going to have to worry about Randy and Cody, But you're going to also have to worry about this volatile triangle between CM Punk, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
War is upon us.
It's about to be a massacre. Now, there are a few things that I left out. Little Yachty and Trick Williams came out there to talk for whatever reason. I feel like that could have been a backstage segment. But to make a long story short and to make it very clear, Lil Yachty and them didn't want to hear nothing Corbin had to say. And Lil Yachty attacked Corbin with his kendo stick. Corbin made Trick Williams a deal. Because at first he denied his ability, his chance to challenge him again. He denied it. He was like, I beat you twice. There's nothing you can do about that. But he said, since you want to have a title match so fucking bad, let me give you the stipulation. At Sunday Night Main Event, it's going to be me and your homeboy, Lil Yachty, for 5 minutes in the ring. If Lil Yachty gets the last, then you can have your title shot. If he doesn't, you and I are finished forever. And I get to beat the hell out of Lil Yachty. It's all a win-win for me. Lil Yachty thought it over and he accepted. He wants his friend and his homeboy to get his title back. So he says. Now, last but not least, Tiffany Stratton competed in a match against Lash Legend. She is definitely at half capacity. And Lash Legend beat Tiffany Stratton. It was what it was. But they went in there and massacred the girl. Nia Lash beat the hell out of her. Saw that she was injured and could not compete against her. That didn't matter. So guess what y'all favorite WWE champion did? Take a wild guess. Now, obviously, they were in Canada, her hometown. So she wasn't going to get her ass whooped today. But she came down there and her boots was fire as hell. I ain't going to lie to you. Love them boots down. You feel me? But she came down there in her boots. Her wee little boots, baby. With a kendo stick. What? She possessed a weapon? And she proceeded to whip both of their asses in that ring with that kendo stick. Now, I don't know who said. Who was that? Who said last week she should have got her ass out the ring and got a weapon? Who? Was it me? Babe, was it me? It was. That was me, because that's what I said. Her ass did it this week. How come she couldn't do it last week? She watched the girl get fucked up. Okay? I don't give a damn, because I don't really care about Tiffany Stratton to begin with. But goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Girl. Finally, we understand the assignments. Okay, babes. I'm glad you was able to get your shit together and stop acting like a punk ass bitch. Girl, I don't care about your eye being fucked up. You better go fuck some bitches up so they eye be fucked up with you. Okay? And you should be in there going back there beating down JC Jane, because she the one who punched you in the face. Shit. Mrs. Kayfabe, by the way. Don't nobody get in their comments. That's that shit. Shut the fuck up. I'm not talking about it like that. Anyways, that was Smackdown. That was the whole show. There was a lot going on, but there wasn't at the same time, if that makes sense. It was enough to keep you intrigued, and that final match definitely was a lot going on. If I had to give you a rating of tonight's show, absolutely. I think it was a B+. It was solid. I wish that the women would have got more time in terms of not Chelsea, but in terms of Blake and Julia. But other than that, it was a solid show. The MFTs, that match could have been cut down by at least another 5 minutes. It didn't need to be that long. Like, they had 2 full commercial breaks for the MFTs match with Damian Priest and R-Truth. And it's no shade. I just don't need to, I don't need to watch that for that long. Okay. With that being said, there's a lot going on. There's so much going on. But we finna talk. Just a little bit. I ain't finna do nothing too crazy. Now, I'm finna tell y'all a little bit that I posted on my Instagram not too long ago. I'm gonna tell y'all what I've been finding. So I've been coming across a big ass rumor that's been rolling around the IWC about Bronson Reed. Now they say that Bronson Reed is coming back and he's going after Obafemi. This is gonna pull Obafemi off of Brian Breaker for a little while, put him in this feud with these two, with him, and this is gonna give him something to do until it's time for him to challenge for the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Now listen, if y'all ain't seen what Bronson Reed look like, go to this man's Instagram page or go on his Twitter. This matchup between Bronson Reed and Obafemi is gonna be nasty. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's a dangerous man, and he's half the weight. I need you to understand what I'm saying. He's half the size that he was, and he has toned and put on muscle. He's pure muscle. It's scary. At Bronson Reed's heaviest, he was dangerous then. Watching him go from that to this, and then possibly competing with Obafemi, that's going to be Obafemi's greatest challenge in Bronson Reed. Now, I don't know when this is going to happen, but I assume that Bronson Reed will probably pop up at Sunday Night Main Event or after. I'm thinking Sunday Night Main Event so that they can have a really big impact for his return, because they need something to distract Oba from that main title right now. They got to do something, right? I am telling you that shit's about to get real. Okay? It's about to get real. That's your B-Day twin. And he used to soar when he was twice as big. Girl. Hello, how are you? So listen, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I just gave you a little bit of tea that I found. If you want to see what Bronson Reed looks like, you can go to his page over on Instagram. You can go over to Twitter to see what he looks like. Or you can come on my page. I have his picture posted in a little video telling y'all the same thing about his possible return. He didn't say when he could return, but there is a possible return for him. This would work out in Brian Breaker's favor because Brian Breaker needs the W more than Obafemi does, and this could give them both what they want. Oba could come out still looking like the dominant person that he is, and Braun Breaker can get a cheap win, and it won't destroy him to lose to Obafemi. You see what I mean? It's a win-win for everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the hay so I can get up tomorrow, meal prep, get a little exercise in, and chill out. And while my husband's going to be gone tomorrow, I'm going to be here by myself typing up some things. I'm going to be starting to post some stuff on my Substack, some reviews of everything, some of my thoughts, character stuff. I want all that stuff out. And sometimes I don't like doing videos, and I'd rather just post it on my Substack. So when I get the Substack finished and up for tonight's episode of Smackdown, I will make sure that I give you guys the deets over on my Instagram in my stories. It'll be up, and you'll have the link for it and everything. I love you guys down, and I will see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw when we talk about everything that happened on the show. We are 2 weeks out from Sunday Night Main Event, and currently they only have 2 matches booked for this show. Only 2. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton will compete in a match at Sunday Night Main Event, and so will Obafemi and Braun Breaker. But given what we just saw from CM Punk, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, I suspect that either a triple threat or some iteration of Sami Zayn and Kevin will face off against the champ at Sunday Night Main Event. They got to have a title defense over there. And I'm sure they might do something with Liv Morgan or possibly a number 1 contenders match with Becky and Stephanie. They have to do something. We're 2 weeks out, and they're only got 2 matches going. So we'll see where everything goes. And now we should have Baron Corbin set up for Lil Yachty, but they just haven't put the graphic up yet. All right. So that's the next PLE. If you call it a TVP, I call it a special. The TV special for Sunday Night Main Event. It will be in Atlanta, Georgia on September 6th. And then after that, they're going to be in Hawaii and in Mexico. So they're going to go to Mexico through 4 days. They're going to be there. Well, actually, they'll be there for 5 days, but it'll be September 9th, 10th, 11th, and then the 14th. These are all going to be, two of them will be live shows, and the other one will be taped regular regular SmackDowns and Raw shows. And then they're going to be finishing up the tournament, which is happening in Mexico. The finals of the tournament, which is happening to go up against Roman Reigns. Right now, the tournament is set, and it is as follows. I just had to get the right graphic, y'all. I'm sorry. Talking too fast. Anyways, currently we have Penta and La Parka who will face off on Monday, as well as Dragon Lee who will go up against Rey Fenix on Monday. That match with Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun time. But I'm going to tell you right now, the two people who are going to come out of this match is going to be Penta and Rey Fenix. Penta and Rey Fenix are going to face off for the chance to face off against Roman. And the winner, I believe the winner is going to be Penta. Penta is going to be the one who's going to win. Now, what could happen in Mexico is Perros del Mal will show up and cost Penta this match. That way, Penta doesn't get buried by Roman, and Roman can walk away scot-free with no worries. He wasn't going to be worried no way, but you know how it is, okay? So, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And then, after all of that, we have Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is supposed to be in New Orleans. It doesn't look like it's being moved or changed. It is going to be on Saturday, October 10th. It starts at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get my black ass out of here. And I hope to see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.